All right. Well, good evening. Good evening. And welcome to our free AI and digital literacy webinar. We're so glad that you could join us tonight. And whether you're here to sharpen your digital skills, learn the basics of AI, or simply become more comfortable navigating the online world, you're in the right place. This session is designed especially for parents and seniors, but not limited to them. And we'll be covering essential topics like online safety, basic computer skills, typing assistance, and a brief introduction to AI. Leading us today, well, my name is Joanna Adavi. I'm the president of Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment. Leading us today is Mr. Howard Robinson, an experienced educator passionate about empowering communities through digital education. And he's going to guide us through some practical tips and insights to help you feel more at ease with technology. We encourage you to stay engaged, ask questions in the chat, and participate as much as possible. And by the end of this time, we hope that you'll feel more confident navigating the digital landscape. And once again, thank you for being here. So I'm going to turn it over to Howard.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the warm introduction. And just another introduction for myself. My name is Howard Robinson. I'm the founder of Versatile Education and Design. We're an organization focused on empowering communities with STEM opportunities in esports and technology. Our most recent endeavor is working with digital literacy and getting communities of color, communities of individuals over the age of 50, and educators familiar with artificial intelligence. And one of our most engaging pathways is using artificial um, intelligence to create art. But before we get to that, all of the technical things, we got to make sure we go to square one, and that's digital literacy. So that's the point of this workshop today. We're really going to focus on individuals who are beginners, individuals who are creative explorers, and even seniors. So there's a myriad of people who can gain some knowledge by enhancing their digital literacy skills. I'm going to go through some different resources that we have available that you can use, along with some techniques that you can actively employ to improve. So again, all levels, you don't need to do anything, don't need to be a tech person. All of these programs that I'll be previewing are free, so you can use these no cost, whether you download them on your app, your phone, whichever avenue you deem fit. Quickly about the workshop. This can be done virtually or in person. Again, like I said, no prior experience, and this is a hands-on approach, simple, easy to use. Going over what you'll learn, basic digital literacy. So that looks like mastering essential skills. So understanding browsing, internet safety, using key functions, using AI. So I'll talk to you about the basics of ChatGPT and different tools you can use to make personalized art. And then we'll even go into how you can create your own AI art pieces and prompts to do essentially whatever you may need for personal life, for business. There are a bunch of different reasons that you can do this. And speaking of those reasons, why this workshop is important, empowerment. So you can gain practical digital skills to stay connected. So whether you're working remotely, whether you have family in different countries, whether you do business online, this will really help you stay abreast on what's current, but also help you reach different people safely. But also, this is another avenue for exploring your creativity. So one of the favorite things that I do with AI art is create different pictures of myself, friends, families. People are using them for portfolios, models, comic books, illustrations. There's a world of opportunity available for you. You just really have to tap into whichever one works best for you. And again, the social connection. So this is a good way for you to engage with your peers, share creations, and create a community with other like-minded individuals, or to start your own community around some of your common interests. So some of the benefits from the organizations, again, you get to learn digital literacy skills. It's a welcoming space, and again, it boosts your creativity and confidence as well too. So we're going to go directly into what is an introduction to AI art. So this is a presentation that I use when I'm working at various levels, particularly for adult learners. This quickly goes into some of the AI tools. Quickly, let me give you some more information about me, Mr. Howard, why I'm up here. I'm an educator, I'm a professional web and graphic designer. I've taught all over the world, and I saw a lack of diverse animations and designs within my culture and community. So I started to create some. So that's how I honestly got started on this path. I saw a need for people to be engaged with AI art, and I wanted to really find a way that allowed me to work with it concisely and make an impact. So some of the biggest questions that most people have is what is artificial intelligence? So briefly, AI is a simulation of human intelligence by machines. It enables you to perform tasks such as recognizing patterns, learning data, making decisions. Some of the uses for parents or educators is you can use it to automate tasks, help your student with their homework, and creative tools like some of the things we mentioned. Some of the use cases. So this is getting to the fun stuff. So it isn't all work and nuts and bolts. You can use it to create custom digital illustrations for your website, educational aids. If you are a writer, you can make your own book covers. Or if you want to create concept art or marketing campaign graphics for your own business, this is a good opportunity for you to utilize your skills to generate some income for yourself, but also to save some money as well too. And also one of the good ways that I mentioned this too is a good tool for exploring cultural expression, but we'll get more into that later. Going into some of the basics of AI, we'll come back to that one too. I want to go over the main tools that we use, and that would be ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a program that generates text-based content, ideas, and answers to queries. So ChatGPT is one of the biggest AI programs that you may have heard of. I'll briefly show you what it looks like. It's free. You can get it on the App Store, but this is one of the main apps that you can use to do a myriad of things. So you can create um, prompts, you can create journals, you can create a calendars, you can create a bunch of different tools that aren't just images. So ChatGPT is a really good one for you getting information. Hey, maybe you're looking for a recipe, or maybe you're looking for just a bunch of different things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and the website for that is chat.openai.com. So that's where you will find ChatGPT for the majority of it. And again, for example, you're looking for a new recipe. So this is after I've already signed up for an account and I'm using an advanced version of ChatGPT. If you're using a free version, yours will more than likely say GPT 4.0 at the very top. And then once you get to the screen and you make an account, it's going to ask you, what can I help with? So some of the very first steps that you have to do when you are doing using AI is you're going to have to do something called prompt engineering. I know it sounds scary, like a really big term. Oh, it's a lot, but it's essentially you giving the computers, the AI, I should say, clear and specific guidance. So you got to provide background details, specific styles, for examples, and then there are certain limitations. So here's an example. You say create a colorful abstract painting in the style of Van Gogh, emphasizing swirls and vibrant colors. So essentially, the instruction, I told the AI to create a colorful abstract painting. That's step one. So you got to give it an instruction. You just can't say ChatGPT pair of shoes. It's not going to know what you want to do with those pair of shoes. So you're going to say, make me a pair of shoes or give me the cost for a pair of shoes. So you have to always start with giving it clear and specific guidance and then adding as many details after that, and that helps the computer, helps the AI to give you the best response. So as many details as you can add as possible helps the AI experiment with variations. So try different words, different phrases. So one of the things we'll do here, let's say, for example, thinking about our individuals who are over the age of, let me get rid of this bar here. High voting controls. Individuals who are over the age of 50. So you can say, you can say, you got to give an instruction. Say, make a list of healthy food options for individuals over 50 who love strawberries. So you can be very specific as well too. And then you can see the prompt. It instantly says, absolutely, here are healthy food options for individuals over 50. So they give you a bunch of different recipes. You can see meals and snacks, strawberries, main dishes. So even if you are trying to build a grocery list, if you're trying to do tangible things around the house, you can use this as a tool to help you get some ideas and inspiration that you can use for your business or just in general. So it's a really, really good tool for that as well. And then you can continue to add on. So the next step to prompt engineering is to be more specific. So let's say give me a list for someone who is a diabetic. So if you have any health conditions you want to be aware of, maybe you have a nut allergy, or maybe you're trying to be gluten free, you can see now the list is different now. Now, instead of just giving you salmon and strawberry glaze, it's a more concise version because you gave the computer more details on what to use. And it also goes into the benefits of it. So these can really help you in everyday life. For our parents, if say you have a child who only likes certain, maybe they only eat carrots and chicken. You can say, give me a list of dishes I can make that are based around carrots and chicken that incorporate other vegetables or foods in there. So this is really a really multifaceted tool that you can use. But you can also tell it to make an image. So say, for example, you want to design your kitchen, for example. But the only thing that you know is you want it to be gold and modern. You can say make an image of a modern kitchen that is gold and black in a modern house. So this time I told it to make an image. So instead of generating a prompt and text, with me telling it to make an image, it's going to make a picture. So ChatGPT compiles this database to put together an image based on image references. It usually varies on the kind of image that you get. Right now, this should be a realistic version of an image. Again, the more details I added, the more variation or concise it would have been. It just really depends on how much you want to add or explore when you're working with the tool. So you can see here, it's loading, and this is a completely unique image so that no one else in the world has created this image. Exactly, no two images are the same unless you try to do them specifically. So this is one of the things, say you want to build out a dream house, or you want to do an activity with your child, or maybe you into real estate plan, or maybe you just want to see how a different style will look. These are some of the things that you can do. You can see very simply, I'd say make an image of a modern kitchen that is gold and black. You can say add floral patterns. You can say add floral patterns. So maybe you want to see how it look with some floral patterns incorporated as well. So it's really a tool that lets you open up your imagination. It really does give you some different tools that really give you ability to create what you want to in a fast and concise way. If you're using a free version of these, then it does have some form of limit, but it isn't too bad. There are some other AI tools that you can use that are available that are free as well. So ChatGPT is one of them, but I do want you to see how it would look by just saying add floral patterns. So that's another thing too. After you type in a prompt and it gives you a generation, you can type in something else and adjust it. So once you start, maybe you want to see two chairs, maybe you want to see a person in it. This is how you can adjust it, and you can see now we have a nice, beautiful floral pattern arrangement. And it looks like we spent a lot of time working on that, but this is just a quick idea that you can use for inspiration if you want to create art pieces for this. Maybe you're, again, like I mentioned, interior designer, or you want to create a poster, or you want to create wall decor. There are so many things that you can do to this to either monetize it or use it to help your everyday life. So you can see here, nice floral house design right there too. And then you can see the more simplistic. So they're not exactly the same. You can see there are some differences in there too, but for the most part, you can see how it looks with a variation with the floral patterns in there. Got the both. So yeah, this is just one of the biggest and easiest ways that people can use it for. Thinking about our parents, you can say, I have a second grader struggling with fractions. Can you explain it to them using animals? And give me websites that help with this. So maybe you're again you have a niece or a nephew or a cousin who is having issues, and you aren't the best mathematician, but you know that you know enough and you want to help them, you can use ChatGPT as your little pseudo tutor assistant. So I literally just typed in, I have a second grader struggling with fractions. Can you explain it to them using animals and give me websites that help with this? And then it gave me what is a fraction and then put into terms of fruit. So using something that kids are interested in as well too. And then it gave me a list of websites that I can use as well. So now not only can you be able to explain it to your student, you're now able to provide games that allow you to develop and cultivate those different things that they have available. So that's a really, really good site. And looking at going to the digital literacy piece, there's a website called Ed Club. I'm gonna go to it really quickly. So this is the site. This is my back end site, but I'll show you how it looks on the front end. So Ed Club, let me log out here. Let me go here to really quickly. Let me go to, let me see, edclub.com. There we go. Okay, yeah, edclub.com is the program that you can sign up for free. And the program that I recommend using is called Typing Club. So Typing Club is the program, it's a free program that shows you how you can type using a gamified approach. So this is something that for parents, students of all ages, and unless you tailor it based on how proficient you are, there are a myriad of accessibility features as well too. So maybe if you have any audio or physical needs, it definitely does those adjustments. And this is a tool that allows you to essentially work on those typing skills. So there are different programs. It has Spanish instructions as well too. So for individuals who are English as a second language, it does have Spanish iterations. It has a program called Typing Basics that goes over the basics of typing. So I recommend that all learners of all ages do these. If you're a little bit rusty, you want to learn, and even more so, they have games for children available as well too. So even if you have a learner who's in fifth through eighth grade, you can get them some additional practice using this site. Again, it's called edclub.com. It does allow you to use up to a certain point a free version of these as well too. So again, and they even have type and facts available. So you can incorporate different lessons and different information all while having your learner learn how to type. And typing is a super, super core skill that everyone should really look into. So I'm going to sign in really quickly. Let me type in. So I'm gonna go to my back end so you can see what some of those different courses look like. But they're very easy and they track your progress as well. So even as a parent, you can do these with your student as well, and they'll allow you to track your all's progress. So I'm going to a sample lesson right here. Let's say maybe you have an 11th grader. You can view some of the different lessons, and all of these are free. You can see it goes over all different aspects of typing from the home row, top row, bottom row, enter tab, all those different aspects of them. For today, we're going to look at digital literacy. And this one, there are a few different modules that we can use for this here. I'm going to view the lesson. Um, mouse and keypad. So there's a few different aspects that you can click on to help you cover for digital literacy. For today's session, we're only going to go over some of the more essential ones, mainly the browser basics. So we're really going to look at browser, some of the different things you want to pay attention to while you're using web browsers. This is the type-in one. We don't want the type-in version of it. We want the actual version of it. So give me one moment. Digital literacy. Here we go. Yep. Few lessons. Parts of the computer. What is a window? Yep. So when it comes to digital literacy as well, too, window. So the biggest thing that most people understand is the little pop-up on the screen that when you pop up a new page, those are called a window. So if you ever see where it says click a new window or add a new window, that's what those are. Title bar, the title bar section is the very top section up here that has all of the names of the different tabs at the top.
Menu.
And the menu bar is again a bar that it varies on where it's at as well too. If you're using Google Chrome, it'll be on the right. It changes.
Restore.
And restore is another function too, but we won't necessarily work on that today. Minimize. So minimize is that flat button in the corner right there. That's how you make things smaller. Maybe you want to make the window or make it smaller but not delete it. You click minimize.
Maximize.
Maximize is the button in the middle. So this is if you want to make it bigger. So if you have a window that isn't completely big, you can click maximize and that will make it bigger as well too.
Resize.
Resize is usually when you click this button right here to make it a smaller window, like so. You can click the corner of it and you'll get two arrows pointing up and down. And if you move those in or out, it'll resize how that window looks. So I'm just gonna put that back there.
Horizontal.
In horizontal, again, we just
Vertical.
mentioned that up and down.
Toolbar.
A toolbar is really important too. So a toolbar is where you, depending on if you use it or not, sometimes you'll see this section up here. You can add additional apps that you can use. So maybe you use stuff like Pop-up Blocker or Grammarly or different tools that you can use to help you with typing. That's where those will go as well. So, yep. That's one core aspect that's really, really important too. And looking at another section.
Address bar.
Address bar. So address bar is where you actually go in to type in the website. So the main menu has the name. The address bar is the bar in the middle that you can click and enter the website address.
Search bar.
Search bar is where you can type in and search things. So whether if you go to Google, you type in a keyword and use the search bar and it'll give you an answer. Homepage is usually the first page when you open up a browser. So like this is my home page is blank. So the very first page that when you open up a browser is considered the home page. Browser, as I mentioned, there are different kinds of browsers: Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer, Safari. Uh, Most Windows PCs come installed with Microsoft Edge, which is Microsoft's Google Chrome, which is what a lot of people use. You actually have to go and download. So if you want to get Google Chrome, you can just type in the address bar right there, type in Google Chrome, download, and then it'll give you a few different options where you can find one and click download. So that's one way that you can get the browser, a search engine. So Google is a search engine. So search engine like Google, Yahoo are places where you can go and find out information. Like maybe you want to find out a score for a basketball game or for directions or things like that too. That's what those would be really good for.
Reload.
Reload button is say the page is frozen and it is stuck, you can click reload and then that'll refresh the page. So if you're ever like this page isn't working, just hit that circle button and it will restart it over and then you can give it another try.
Load.
Loading. So when something's loading, that means the computer slash internet is taking time to buffer. So when you click a new site or a new section, it traditionally takes time to load. So it's normal if it takes a few seconds to begin. So,
Address bar.
yep, so we did that one. And let's take a look at last thing too, sending an email. So some of the important things is when doing emailing is something called spam. So spam emails are emails that you don't want to open. They usually are harmful. So there's usually you'll have a spam folder in your email address where you can go and see it'll say spam. That's where junk messages go. A lot of people who are trying to sell you stuff, scammers, but it's also a good practice to sometimes check that because sometimes an email or two might get lost in there as well too. Email address is how most people communicate these days. Usually it's your name and at wherever you have it at. So mine is Howard Robinson blank at gmail.com. Yours would be first name or whatever you want it to be. When you're making an email address, it's recommended to keep it professional. So you want to try to do something where, again, it's either your first last name, some variation of your name, Try not to put Brush Master 355 because you might be trying to use that for a job application, and it isn't the best if your email address isn't professional when you're trying to get roles.
Box.
Inbox is where you're going to get your messages. So if you go to your Gmail here or any kind of email, your inbox is where all of the mails go whenever you click those. So they pop up there too. Usually you should check your inbox once a day. Those are a really good option as well to get it done. Give me one moment. Yep. So when you're drafting out an email, let me click this here. When you're drafting an email, you want to, the subject is what the email is going to be about. So in this case, it'll be digital literacy AI class. So that pops up, and when someone first sees the email, this is the first thing that they're going to see. For recipients, that's where you put the person's name right there. You can figure out whatever that person's name is and save it. The body paragraph is where you start typing. So usually people start with a hello or a hi, any of those different things too. Um, reply. So once you're ready to send that email, everything is in it. Thanks for the greeting. But so usually some key components of email, usually you must start with a greeting and end with some kind of farewell, best, thanks, and sign off. It just looks professional. It's a good habit. And then you hit send. Make sure you hit send, because if you don't hit it send, the email will just send in a draft and you will think you communicating with someone when you really didn't. Attachment. So attachments are really important. Say you want to send a document, you want to send a logo or a flyer or download something you filled out. You're going to click the clip bar directly next to the bottom here, and then once you click it, it's going to take you to your downloads and your different folders where you can find a file. Once you find a file that you want, you double click it, and then it'll add it to the email. So it takes some time to load. So if you try to hit send, it's going to tell you to wait until it processes, but that means your documents or images are there, which is really important if you're working or trying to send information to get paperwork done online. Username is just the name that again, the recipient name depending on, or your login name. So your login name might be different sometimes on different websites. Sometimes they may ask you to use your email address as a username. Again, email is something that you electronic mail you send over the internet. And yeah, so those are the essential basics as well too. Once you have your recipient, once you have your subject, your greeting, and your ending along with your attachments, that should be the basics that you will essentially need to get started. So quick covering of those two. Remember that Ed Club is a good website where you can go sign up to get those different skills. They have digital literacy and typing class and typing test. So when you're looking at when it comes to typing, some of the core aspects that you want to do quickly, I'll show you all, is when it comes to typing, you want to make sure that you're 101 using proper typing stance. So when it comes to proper typing stance, we're not going to play all the video, but I do want you all to see right here. So this is proper finger positioning while you are typing. So when it comes to typing, your left pointer finger and your right pointer finger are your guiders. So your left pointer finger should be on the F. Your right pointer finger should be on the J, like so, as they're showing on the screen. And that's ideally where both of your fingers are going to rest, and then your additional fingers are going to rest on the side of them. So usually there's a bump on the F and the J, and then once you have your right finger on the J, your left finger on the F, you're going to take your next three fingers and put them right next to them, and then put your left two thumbs on the space bar. And kind of like this is proper typing stance. So if you ever seen in a movie people typing really fast, this is the proper typing stance that they're using. And this is the most efficient typing stance that you can use as well. So we call that the home row. So your hand should always rest on the home row. Anything below it is the bottom row. Anything above it, obviously the upper row as well too. So those are the basics just to get you started as well too. You can start by understanding those formats, and the better you get, the more easy it'll be to just make better changes and to make more adjustments as well too. So no, again, that was again a quick introduction for Intro to AI Art. Again, I would love to if anyone wants to get a more in-depth to learn more about how that they are able to really work with that. I'll drop the links to again, it was ChatGPT, chat.openai.com was a good one. Ed Club was the best resource that I found as well too. And then I'll send you all a link to these presentations if you like as well too. Yeah, that concludes the lesson for today. I will surely go more in depth. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But we'll work on doing some more actual AI lessons and generations the next time. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Robinson. Definitely appreciate that. And want to thank Ms. Pam and Jacinta for joining. This is the opportunity for you to ask some questions that you might have. I'm also going to launch a poll if you are able to kind of quickly, if you have some time to answer these questions about this course. And again, you're welcome to either put in the chat any questions you might have or take yourself off mute. I will say I've definitely learned. I like that Ed Club. And by the way, Mr. Robinson, I did put some of those links in the chat while you
Thank
were
you.
doing the training. That
Mhm,
Ed Club, I think those are some great,
mhm,
concise lessons to learn.
mhm,
And I'm not, I haven't been to school actually about to celebrate my 30 years since high school, but I remember
mhm.
having a typing class. So I learned about the home key and stuff. I'm not sure if they're teaching that in schools now or not.
Not
Um,
too often. Nope.
Okay. So
Mhm,
that's some good, good, things to keep in mind, especially, if you're in like office, well, not even just an office type of career, but,
mhm.
generally in whether it's, your career or whether it's, definitely in different aspects of life, having those essential skills is pivotal and can be helpful as you navigate different spaces.
No, for sure. And again, likewise, especially for employment as well, too. Like that's the last thing. A lot of employers will ask for your WPM, which is words per minute. So they want to know how fast that you type. So if you they have assessments on here that you can do and you can see your speed increase. So eventually if you get to a certain point, you can tell the employer like, hey, I do 58 or 78 words per minute. And they're like, oh, you know that. So you already making yourself a bit more distinguished as an employee, but also opening up more opportunity. So I recommend this for anyone who wants to work from home, wants to do any kind of online business. You need to understand how to use the basic functionalities of the computer first. Again, sending those emails and just making those connections as well. So, I mean, a very useful part two. We'll surely dive more into more of the different tools you can use to make some different e-commerce products. There's even AI music you can use, video generation. So there's a variety of different topics that we'll be sure to explore as well. So
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop recording. Thank everybody, even for those who will be watching this video. Um, Feel free to
okay.
follow up with us and follow us so you get more information about future events. So let me stop recording.